What's going on YouTube? It's Anthony from CompSci Studio and welcome back to your 11th Java Advanced tutorial. So in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you guys how to append data to a file. And by what I mean append, basically I'm going to be adding text every time I write something to the file. It'll be added to the end of the file instead of actually being overwritten. So yeah, to do this it's quite a bit more complex, and I know you guys probably won't get it right away, but if you guys kind of look at it for long enough, you'll probably be able to understand it. You're going to be creating a bunch of objects, and each object is going to be used as a parameter for the next. So in the last tutorial we used print stream. That did not let us append, but in this tutorial we're going to be using a different class in order to let us append. So let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is, once we have our file created, we're gonna have to create a file writer object. Now the file writer object basically takes the parameter, well, I'm gonna show you in a sec, let me just type it out. So we're gonna type out file writer, and then we're gonna call it writer is equal to new file writer. So the file writer takes two parameters, as I was saying. Basically the first parameter is just the file that we created, the file object. So we could type in happy file. And then our next one will be true. It's going to take a boolean. It's going to be true or false. And basically this says, do we want to append? It would be true. And if we don't want to append to the file, it would be false. So right here we're just going to go true. And of course we need to add the class like always, and again it's in the java.io package. So there's another class that we need to create an object out of, and this is called the buffered writer. Now we need to create this one because there's one more object that we need to create after, and we can't actually just stick this file writer object into the one we want because it doesn't accept that type as a parameter. So we're gonna have to create something else called a buffered writer. Now the buffered writer, we could just call it buffer is equal to new buffered writer. Now the parameters for this is a lot less complex. Basically it just takes the parameter of a file writer. So we could just type in writer here, and again, like always, need to add the import called buffered writer. Now don't worry, if you guys don't get this, I'm going to go over this step by step again at the end. Just bear with me. And we have one more. This is the last object, I promise, that we need to create. And this is going to be actually kind of like our print stream, but in this case it's actually called a print writer. So print writer, and we could just call it writer is equal to new print writer. And this again takes the parameter of a buffered writer. So that's why, print writer needs a parameter of buffered writer. That's why we couldn't just put in our file writer object right away. Kind of wish they did, then we don't have to create this other object, but Java made it so we have to use buffered writer as a parameter. So we could just type in here buffer, and we're getting a little error. Could add the import. And why do we have an error here? Writer is already defined, my bad. We could call it, here, let's rename this to file writer, and we can name this one to print writer. And we need to change this, don't we? And we need to change the file writer over here. So sorry if that confused you. I just changed file writer, the file writer object, to the name of file writer. Without a capital F, you can't use a capital F, and then I changed that down here as well, and I changed print writer to a name of print writer without a capital P. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start printing out our characters. So let me just erase my data. This was just a test that I was just making sure my program worked before I actually started this tutorial. I made a fool of myself. So yeah. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna print out what we want. So let's go stream dot print hello world. So something basic. So once we run this, oh, stream, my bad. What did I type in? Stream. Print writer. So we're going to be using print writer. I was using stream in the last one as my variable. That's why I got confused. So if we run this right now, we shouldn't have run that because we should close our print writer stream. So we should go print writer dot close. So whenever you're writing text to a file, always make sure you close your stream. It's just good programming practice. So let's run that right now, and we get a hello world. If we run it again now, if I didn't make a mistake, we should have another hello world in that file. Let's reload it. There we go. So we have two hello worlds. As you can see, it's appending it. There's no space in between. We could fix that right here if we just go put a space. And if we run it again, we should have three hello worlds. This one should be separated by a space now. So we got hello world, no space, hello world, space, hello world. And if we keep running this, we could put as many hello worlds as we want. We could also use print ln, which is going to put it to a new line. So the first one, when I run it, it won't go to the new line, but so it'll be hello world again. And then if I print another one, this one will be on the new line. Refresh. There we go. There's a new line for hello world. So let me go over this again. I know this is kind of confusing. We haven't really used multiple objects all at once before, so I could definitely see if you guys get confused. So first thing we did, we created our file object just to basically create our file in our desktop environment. Then the next thing we did is we made a file writer object. Now this file writer object takes the parameter of the file we created and basically allows us to append to that file by creating a boolean that says, yes, I would like to append to this file. If we put false, then we would not be able to append to the file. It's as simple as that. And then the next thing we did, we had to create a buffered writer in order to use it as a parameter in our print writer, which essentially the print writer just allowed us to print to our file. So if this doesn't make any sense to you guys, please feel free to ask me questions, send me a message, start commenting below. I'm sure there's people that understand it and they'll be able to help you out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next one.